Howdy there, fellow folks. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back for the Anime Podcast Show. And of course, this is History of Anime. So today's video, we are celebrating a major milestone for an anniversary. God damn, it's hard to believe it's been 25 years since the anime came out, since its debut in 2001. For those who haven't seen or you don't remember, so here's a little quick synopsis. The story follows of our own protagonist, Yo Asakura, as he trains to become the Shaman King by competing in the Shaman Fight Tournament. Well, I think I already said both the name of the character and the title. Yep, I'll be talking about Shaman King. Man, it's been a while since I talked about Shaman King. And yeah, since I said we're celebrating 25 years, why am I talking about it? Well, it's been 25 years since the anime's debut. Damn, that's crazy, fam. Well, let's dive into the history of this momentum franchise. Now, if y'all are wondering who is the mastermind behind this franchise? His name is Hiroyuki Take. Take began his career in 1994 when he submitted a one-shot called Anna the Echo to the Tsuzuka Award, where it received an honorary mention. Soon afterwards, he became an assistant management for Weekly Shonen Jump, I think for one manga artist at the time. I forgot who it was, but I'm not going to say who it is. But yeah. So 2 years later, he published 2 one-shots for the magazine, seasonal specials. One is called Death Zero for the winter, and Butsu Zone for the summer of 96. So the Butsu Zone was later reworked into his very first serialized manga series, which its debut in Weekly Shonen Jump in 1997. Although it ran from March to August of that year, it was collected for only 3 volumes. And the creator already got plenty of ideas for his next project, one that would establish him as a well-known manga artist. With many different concepts and inspirations coming together, Shaman King was born. While creating the series, he drew inspirations from street art and hip-hop culture, something that's very noticeable in his artwork. He chose shamanism as a center theme because he wanted to explore a subject that hasn't really covered in a manga before. He also incorporated many of his own beliefs and personalities into the story. So, for the characters he created, that it was in the heart of the series. He believed that originated was the most important aspects of creating a momentum character through into them. He wanted to represent different cultures, backgrounds, and values. Ultimately, he stated in his final message of Shaman King, saying, "Fighting is no good." Shaman King was serialized in Weekly Shonen Jump magazine from June 30th, 1998 until its erupted and unfinished ending on August 30th, 2004. Unfortunately, the manga later received a true proper ending, which was published in 2008 and concluded in 2009 with brand new chapters. Since then, the franchise has expanded into several spin-offs, included Shaman King Zero, Flowers, Superstar, Red, Crimson, Marcos, and A Garden, and much more. And of course, there's plenty more spin-offs. I think there's one more in the works coming up very soon. So now let's talk about the anime. Now to the original 2001 series, which it was co-produced by TV Tokyo, NSS, and Zebrick. While researching for this anniversary, I found something really I didn't even know about. So during the early stages of production, Hiroyuki actually worked closely with the anime staff. However, as his workload for the manga increased, he has no longer had time to visit the studio. So that really sucks. I didn't even know about that. So the anime aired for 64 episodes from July 2001 to September 2002. At first, it faithfully adapts the manga. But because the manga was still ongoing at the time, the anime eventually branched off into its own original storyline and ending. Now let's talk about the dub. Who remembers watching Shaman King on Fox Box back in September 2003? So yeah, the series was dubbed by 4Kids Entertainment. While it found success with the younger audience, the edits, the censorship became a controversial topic among fans. But here's something that people don't either remember or don't know. There was actually an uncut version of 4Kids dub. Huh? What are you talking about? Was there an uncut version of Shaman King? Yes, there was. Really was an uncut of 4Kids Shaman King. So yeah, it was partnered with Funimation, produced an uncut release. This wasn't the first time they experimented the idea. They had previously done something similar with Yu-Gi-Oh! I've watched the first few episodes of the uncut version of Yu-Gi-Oh! Honestly, I pretty much enjoyed it. Much more than the heavily edited TV version. Unfortunately, both of those projects were cancelled due to poor DVD sales, bringing up both Shaman King and Yu-Gi-Oh! Uncut releases to end early. Fast forward nearly 20 years later, and Shaman King finally received a brand new adaptation. This time, the series was produced by Studio Bridge, with the goal of fully adapt the original manga. I still remember when the reboot was first announced in June of 2020. Around the same time, not only at the same time, but only on the same day, I also discovered that the original 2001 dub, I didn't even know about. I didn't know there was a dub. I was like, wait, what? I did not know that. I was really hoping that some of the cast would come back, and thankfully several did. The reboot aired from April 2021 to April 2022, featured a mix of returning and new English cast, while many of the original Japanese reprised their roles as well. The dub was produced by VSI LA and streamed worldwide on Netflix. Following the reboot's conclusion, a sequel titled Shaman King Flowers was announced, and it aired for 13 episodes from January to April 2024. Sadly, it didn't seem to get attention it deserved. It was released during a very crowded season, so I think it simply got overshadowed by everything else was airing at the time, so that sucks. But before we wrapping up for the anniversary, here's one final interesting piece of history that I didn't even know about. Back in 2017, Hiroyuki answered a fan question on Twitter and revealed that he had previously been approached about making a new Shaman King anime. However, he turned down the offer because he was told the project wasn't been able to use the original voice cast or the soundtrack, or both. He hoped that one day the right opportunity would come along. 3 years later, that opportunity finally arrived with the announcement of the 2021 reboot. So that is it for the Shaman King 25th anniversary celebration. So thank you, Hiroyuki Sensei, for creating a franchise that has inspired entertaining fans around the world for the past, let's say, 25 to 30 years by this point. Well, we're about to hit the 30th anniversary of the manga in 2028. So here's to many more years of Shaman King and fans who continue to discover and enjoy this incredible series. Hope you all enjoy it. Comment, like, and subscribe. If y'all haven't subscribed to me yet, please do so. You will miss out any content I'll be putting out, and hit the notification bell. Please do so. So that is all. Take care of yourselves, and see you all next time.